Media has become so horizontal. Anybody can write an article, record a podcast, or publish a video. Sharing your story has become so democratized. Anybody can make one, and anybody can access one. And naturally, people have different preferences on how they want to do it. The closest thing that I can relate to this is yung difference in the readers and watchers' experience in Harry Potter books versus Harry Potter movies. There are some who prefer to just read, others just want to stick to visual consumption, and there are those who want to read the book first and then watch the movie later. But the one thing special about this media taste test that I'm about to do is sa Harry Potter movies, there will of course be massive changes in the narration of the story sa movie kesa sa book. Hindi nga naman kasi pwedeng verbatim na gawing exact script yung pages sa novel. So a direct and equal comparison is not really possible. The different methods of delivering media and entertainment have their own set of pros and cons and distinct features. And the best way to demonstrate that is by using the exact same material, word per word, and done so in succeeding sequence. Let's focus on three things: text, audio, and video presentation. Have some patience with this one, very short poem lang naman to. First one is a written poem. I'll be flashing it on the screen. Now for the next 20 seconds, you can just read the text the way you'd naturally do in any article. Did you read it out loud? Okay lang naman. Or was it reading ng pabulong? But most likely, you read it with your head voice. People usually read with an internal voice. So I think as a writer of a narrative, you have to apply a poetic and engaging language in relaying your story in text. As a writer, I've been working on my improvement on that aspect. I realize you need to be descriptive but not verbose in writing because readers try to visualize what the text is saying. And too much text without any gripping element will not really be consumed by people. Next one is an audio recording of me reading the same poem. Kunwari podcast. I'm just going to put a blank screen so you just sit there and listen.
Kung mangangarap man ako, lakihan ko na daw, libre naman kasi. Pero bakit habang binubuo ko pa lang ito, marami na nagsasabi. Piliin ng makatotohanan, subukan ng madali, mangarap ng may pasubali. Dahil di naman daw lahat ng plano ay nangyayari. Pero lagi kong alalahanin, tulog man o gising, mangangarap akong nakatingin sa mga bituin. Nakatingala, nakaakma may aabutin. Marahil di kasing linaw ka agad, di ko man alam saan ako mapapadpad. Pero isa pa rin ang aking hangad, bumitaw sa lupa at lumipad. Dahil kung tatalon ako, bubuelo ako at tataasan ko na. Ang importante naman ay may ngiti sa aking muka nung sinubukan ko, di ba?
This time, I think there's less effort for the consumer. Podcasts or those radio stories are preferred by people who are doing things that are not cognitively demanding, like driving, washing the dishes, or cleaning the house. But of course, there's no visual display, so people can easily be distracted. So if you're doing a podcast, you have to make them pay attention with how you evoke emotion with the sound you make, from enunciation of words, the subtle pauses, the breathing, and the art of inflection and modulation. Last one is my video performance of this poem, Malaya. Kung mangangarap man ako, lakihan ko na daw, libre naman kasi. Pero bakit habang binubuo ko pa lang ito, marami na nagsasabi. Piliin ng makatotohanan, subukan ng madali, mangarap ng may pasubali. Dahil di naman daw lahat ng plano yung nangyayari. Pero lagi kong alalahanin, tulog man o gising, mangangarap akong nakatingin sa mga bituin. Nakatingala, nakaakbang may aabutin. Marahil, di kasing linaw kaagad, di ko man alam kung saan ako mapapadpad, pero isa lang aking hangad, bumitaw sa lupa at lumipad. Dahil kung tatalon ako, bubuelo ako, tataasan ko na. Ang importante naman ay may ngiti sa aking muka nung sinubukan ko, di ba? Now, let's process that. It should basically have the same element with an audio recording. But if consumers end up choosing YouTube for entertainment or education, you as a storyteller have to up your game in getting their attention and making them stay. You have to be animated and theatrical because unlike in public talks in seminars or events where the audience intended to go there and stay, sa YouTube kasi people can easily click out and look away. So you have to perform with your facial expression and body language. And sometimes, you want consumers to stick to watching, you have to apply the language relatable to them. Do some ad-lib. Ikaw bahala. So there you have it. I gave you 3 different ways of delivering that very poem and you experienced 3 different ways of consuming that poem. Ano mas prefer nyo? Ano yung mas naging effective? So first for consumers, why do I think this is useful for you? Well, you can go and stick to your preferred way of consuming entertainment and education. But I hope with this, by understanding the different distinct features of other media formats, can push you to explore them. Before, I kept on researching articles and papers for academic purposes. But it turns out I can watch a visual explanation in YouTube, the second biggest search engine after Google. Also, there are many educational podcasts out there. Now, what about the other end? What about the producers or content creators? Bloggers, podcasters, or YouTubers like me? You have to put in mind how your target audience consumes things. If you're a blogger, you have to learn how to use letters effectively if you want to keep them engaged. You can't just transcribe a normal daily conversation and expect a reader will like it. Because yung usapan na yun on the daily conversation, may kasamang body language yun kaya sila engaging. For podcasters, flex those tongues. That's important, but also quality material is critical. You have to customize the material in a way that doesn't rely on visual depiction. Now for new YouTubers like me, you have to commit to what you're doing. You have to be really expressive with everything you do because YouTube is a very competitive environment. One glance at the side of your YouTube channel could mean people clicking out to watch a recommended and different video. So, this is a simple experiment that I think is useful for people involved in the communications field. If you want to serve your work out there, you gotta understand how media consumption works. So there you have it. I attached some links on the description box or in the comment box. Bye!